Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Tennessee gets the win 56-34 over Kentucky in Lexington, improving to 6-2 on the season, now 3-2 in SEC play. Just a dominant performance by the offense. 504 yards of total offense, 396 yards through the air. Joey Aguilar dang near perfect last night in Lexington. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they continued their Jekyll and Hyde ways. You forced 2 turnovers, one of those being a pick six early in the game. Idris Farouk making a great play there. Another fumble recovery by Jaden Perlotti, which led to an offensive touchdown. You know, something we've talked about the last couple of weeks is complementary football, taking advantage when this defense forces a turnover, go get points, and that's what the offense did last night. But they also gave up some big plays, a 71-yard touchdown on a swing pass. Boo Carter got beat in press man coverage, gave up a 56-yard touchdown. They also gave up long extended drives, a 16-play, 96-yard drive, a couple of 75-yard drives, 10 plays and 11 plays. Is it just who this football team is at this point? Is this just what you expect? I mean, how many points are we going to have to score to beat Oklahoma, to go on the road, go to the Swamp, and beat Florida, to beat Vanderbilt? How many points are we going to have to score to finish this thing out 10-2? But at the end of the day, you did what you were supposed to do. Look, we sell a T-shirt at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS that says we are Kentucky's daddy, and we sell that for a reason. Josh Heupel now 5-0 against the Wildcats, 22-point victory on the road. And I know some people, I know what's going to happen. You're going to try to devalue this win. You're going to say it's Kentucky. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Tennessee did what they were supposed to do. You can't change the opponent. Kentucky is who you played, and you did what you were supposed to do to Kentucky. You were 9.5-point favorite going into this thing. You jumped on top of them early. You score on your first possession. Defense gets a stop. Idris Farouk has the pick six. Kind of a slow little sputter there in the second quarter, but you added points right before the half. You go in the locker room 35-24, and you finish it off 56-34. You never looked back after halftime. We've had a night to sleep on it, kind of push some of the emotions away. This is the day after. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it, but I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up down there below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy, it helps the channel. We would appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's a fan call-in show. Me and Coach Jay going to rewatch the game today. We're going to talk about what we see, and then you guys get an opportunity to come on one at a time. Bring a topic, something you want to talk about. You mad about this Tim Banks defense? Bring that topic tonight. You guys make that show what it is. We'll be live Monday morning with Eric Kane of VolQuest.com at 9 a.m. Tuesday night, we play video games. Wednesday night, Talkin VAWLS Live, all kinds of fun content. Subscribe, be dialed in so you don't miss out. But let's get into it. Let's talk about this win over Kentucky. And I think the middle eight was crucial. And I'm a big stickler for the middle eight. I think you can change the outcome of games if you win that middle eight. And Kentucky, they won the toss and they deferred to the second half. They have an opportunity to get 2 for 1 there, right? And Tennessee's leading 28-14. You're about 10 minutes until halftime, and Kentucky goes on that long drive. Now, we saw Alabama do this to Tennessee too. 16 plays, 96 yards, 8 minutes and 35 seconds. They get a touchdown, cut the lead to 28-21. On that drive, they convert on third down 3 different times. They also converted a 4th and 1 at the Tennessee 19. Get off the field. I thought Tennessee was good on third down early. They were awful on this 16-play drive. Again, 3 times couldn't get off the field on third down. Let them convert the 4th and 1. They punch it in. Tennessee's got about a minute and a half until halftime. And to me, it felt like this game was never really in danger. I was never really nervous or scared that Tennessee was going to lose this game, but I felt like this was such a big moment because you had a minute and a half until halftime. It's a 7-point game. I felt like it was important. It was crucial to go get points there, and that's what Tennessee does. 10 plays, 75 yards. They had 1 timeout in the back pocket, didn't have to use it. Joey Aguilar dang near perfect on that drive, 5 of 7, 62 yards. Had a touchdown pass to Ethan Davis, 2 completions on that drive to Staley, 2 to Ethan Davis, 1 to Mike Matthews, also added a 4-yard scramble, just moving the ball around, and I think that's something Joey does well. He utilizes the entire field. He utilizes all of his weapons. You're going to take Brazel out? Fine, I'll hit Staley. Take Staley out? I'll hit Mike. It was good to see Ethan Davis get that touchdown reception. Ethan Davis is dangerous as a receiving target. If we can get him going, get him cooking, that'll be another weapon for this offense. But you go into the locker room there leading by 14. The defense starts the second half by forcing a punt, and then they also hold Kentucky to a 55-yard field goal attempt. So you get 2 stops out of the gate in the second half, and I felt like that was all she wrote. The offense responds. They score on a 2-play drive when Joey connects with Mike Matthews for a 62-yard touchdown. Also score on a 5-play drive with a big chunk of that coming on a 50-yard completion to Chris Brazel. At that point, it's 49-21, and Tennessee is in cruise control at that point. And, you know, we talk about the defense and that 55-yard field goal attempt. If we can get that type of bend, don't break defense, I can live with it. But you've got to be better getting off the field, right? The extended drives. The big plays are a problem. Boo Carter getting beat is a problem. The horrible angles that you took on the 71-yard swing pass, those are a problem. Those are things you can clean up, but it's the long extended drives that are maddening. And I think some of that is Tim Banks going soft late in the game. Again, you're up big at that point, 49-21. We'll get into that here in just a second. But I think we need to talk about this Tennessee offense, right? A lot of people want to focus on Tim Banks. A lot of people want to come in here and talk about the defense when we went out there and we scored 56 points. Joey Aguilar, again, dang near perfect. What a night for Joey Aguilar. And then what does he do? He says, I need to be more patient. I need to make better decisions. After the game, he says, you know, I cost us a couple there. I forced us to have to punt a couple of times. Man, Joey's a leader. Finished today 20 of 26, almost 400 yards through the air, 396 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. We had 5 passing plays that went for over 35 yards, 3 passing plays that went for over 50 yards. You had 3 wide receivers go for over 100. Chris Brazel, 4 catches, 138 and a touchdown. Mike, 6, 107 and a touchdown. Braylon Staley, 6 catches for 105 yards. Ethan Davis also had a couple of catches, 23 yards and a touchdown. Thought it was kind of funny late in the game because I noticed it in our Patreon chat. If you're not a part of the Patreon, you come join that. There's a link in the description. We're in a chat the entire game, some fun back and forth banter. Come check that out. But I made a comment. I was like, man, Braylon's just a yard away from 100 yards, and we'll have 3 guys at 100 yards receiving. Little swing pass, get him a few yards, get him over 100. Was that petty? Maybe it was, but I like it. I like seeing Joey Aguilar spread the wealth, right? Share it around, and that's something that I think he does well. But not only does he do it well, but also it just shows you we have weapons, right? And we saw Arkansas try to take Chris Brazel out. Well, what do we do? Where do you go? Braylon Staley had himself a day, but seeing all 3 of those guys taking advantage of Kentucky playing man-to-man defense, and that's part of it too. Were we one-dimensional last night? I said early we need to get the running game going. 16 carries, 29 yards rushing in the first half, averaging 1.8 yards per carry, and 17 of that 29 in the first half came from Star Thomas on 1 play. You finished the game, 33 carries, 108 yards, 49 rushing yards came on that last drive of the game where Tennessee was just trying to chew up the clock, eat up the clock, and get out of there. And again, was Tennessee just taking what Kentucky gave them, played a lot of man-to-man, which lets you have a field day throwing the football around? I'm never going to complain when you go out and score 56 points. Just interesting. We're talking about, are we struggling to run the football, or are we choosing not to run the football? Now let's talk about everybody's favorite topic. Let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk about this Tennessee defense, because it's always fun when Tennessee wins by 22 on the road. You drop in the post-game show. You're ready to celebrate. Joey Aguilar slinging the rock around, almost 400 yards, 3 receivers going over 100. Everybody's going to want to talk about this offense, right? Wrong. Everybody wants to talk about how bad this defense is. No mention of Joey, no mention of scoring 56. The second the clock hits 0, let the fire Tim Banks chance begin. We can't wait to start burying Tim Banks. We can't wait to start bad-mouthing Tim Banks. We can't take 5 minutes to celebrate a win because we want to go talk about Tim Banks. And I get it. Like, it's not even the elephant in the room at this point. I feel like all anybody wants to talk about is this defense, how bad they are, and how bad Tim Banks is. We need to fire Tim Banks and move on. And look, it all speaks for itself. It's the first time since 2018 123 that Kentucky's offense has scored 3 touchdowns in a game, and they did that in the first half. Cutter Boley, talked about him all week. Wasn't worried about him. The guy had 4 touchdowns through the first 6 games of the season. 4. Well, he had 5 against Tennessee. So he more than doubled his touchdown production in one game by playing Tennessee. Finished by throwing for over 330 yards, career high in yards, career high in touchdowns. But it's the big plays, man. You let bad angles on that swing pass, which turned into what should have been a short gain, into a 71-yard touchdown. Boo Carter just got flat out beat in press man coverage for a 56-yard touchdown. You want to hear a Boo Carter rant? Go back and watch the postgame show. I'm done with Boo Carter. I got no sympathy for a guy that quits. None. Zero. The body language has been there all year. Deflated, defeated, missed assignments. Boo Carter is not playing up to his potential. It's not. And it's frustrating. It's maddening because Boo Carter can be a dude. Boo Carter can be a player. I question whether or not Boo Carter even wants to be here. And what pisses me off so much is you get beat. That's fine, man. Give an effort. You get beat. Give an effort. The last 10 to 15 yards of that play, and I'm not saying Boo Carter catches that kid. I'm not saying Boo Carter makes a tackle and stops him short, but I want to see effort. And Boo Carter didn't give me effort. He quit. The last 10 to 15 yards, just let up. Gave up, quit. He quit on his teammates, on his brothers. After everything that went down in fall camp, you're quitting now? Everything that went down leading into fall camp, the things that allegedly went down in that locker room, and you're quitting now on the field? I don't have room for that on my football team. I think if Tim Banks is going to do something, I think it starts with Boo Carter. I wouldn't let him back out on the football field. Did you earn your way back? The leadership council, everything that went down there, you earned your way back? Well, you're not earning it on the field. You quit on your brothers. Give me a guy like Peyton Lewis. And some people in our fan base laughed, made fun of it. Peyton Lewis wanting to run a play. You're down 17 with less than 5 seconds on the clock. Peyton Lewis wants to give his all for Tennessee. Peyton Lewis wants to try to punch this football into the end zone, even though the game's over, because Peyton Lewis doesn't know any other way. Need a bunch of dudes like Peyton Lewis that want to give their all for Tennessee, not somebody that gives up and quits because they got beat. I ain't got room for that on my football team. I said you had to go check the post game for the rant. You got the rant here. I'm done with Boo Carter. But it wasn't just the big plays, right? The 71-yard touchdown, 56-yard touchdown. It's also those long extended drives. Again, 16 plays, 96 yards. You had 2 drives that went for 75 yards, a 10-play drive, an 11-play drive. And I will say this, I do think those last 2 drives, you're leading 49-21, and I think that's when Tim Banks really goes soft and just keep everything in front of you. Don't let anything get behind you. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter when you're up 49-21. You can do that, but it's not just there. There's other times throughout the course of the game where he elects to go soft. And I don't know if it's a personnel thing. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence thing. But again, Jekyll and Hyde, the defense also forced 2 turnovers. Pick 6, heck of a play by Idris Farouk. The fumble recovery later led to you had a penalty there. So Tennessee had a short field and punched it in for 6. But you got to also look at the reality, man. And this goes back to me talking about Tim Banks. And does he have a lack of confidence in the guys that are out there? You're missing your 2 starting corners in Jermod McCoy and Ricky Gibson. I get it. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to let you make that excuse. But how much of an impact does it actually have? And when you look at the numbers, last night you played a walk-on at corner, William Wright. A walk-on played 37 snaps. A true freshman in Ty Redmond played 69 snaps. You can say, well, yeah, that's his fault. But you got to build the roster. You got to recruit better. You're missing Jermod McCoy. You're missing Ricky Gibson. You could have Colton Hood out there, and you should have Jalen McMurray at corner. He should be in your 2 deep. But instead, he's taking plays at star, excuse me, because Boo Carter isn't doing his job. Boo Carter didn't do his job. So you got to move Jalen McMurray to star, and that impacts your 2 deep at the corner position. And I think that Tim Banks has a lack of confidence there. You know, Coach Jay mentioned Caleb Beasley last night, was on the field quite a bit, converted from corner to safety back during the spring. He played 35 snaps last night compared to Turrentine, who played 46. Also graded out a little higher than Turrentine, so you're starting to see Caleb Beasley get some more run. Of course, Arian Carter also out last night. Again, you're forced to lean on some of these young guys. Edwin Spillman led this football team in tackles with 15. 11 of those were solo tackles, also graded out at a 71.5. You saw Jaden Perlotti get a lot of run, played 40 snaps. He is showing his athleticism, graded out at a 74.1, so I get it. Right, record-breaking night for Kentucky, 476 yards of total offense, career day for Cutter Boley. Does that mean I'm ready to fire Tim Banks? No, I'm not ready to fire Tim Banks. I'm not ready to move on from Tim Banks. I know a lot of people are. And that doesn't mean just because I'm not ready to move on, it doesn't mean, oh, Boogie, here goes Boogie again defending. I'm not defending him. I'm not carrying water for Tim Banks. It's just stupid. I'm not doing that. Tim Banks has to be better. I'm giving Tim Banks the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving a defensive coordinator that took over a mess in 2021 and consistently improved that defense year in and year out till you were top 7 in scoring defense a year ago. We lived on Tim Banks and his defense a year ago. That's what won football games. That's why we were in the playoff, was because of Tim Banks and his defense. Does he need to be better? Yes. Does he need a gut check? Yes, he does. He needs to change, adapt, grow. But I'm also giving him the benefit of the doubt when, again, you're down your 2 starting corners. You're playing a lot of freshmen. 50% of this football team is made up of freshmen, and they're athletic. We're seeing that with Jaden Perlotti. Can Caleb Beasley come on at safety? We're missing elite safety play in this defense. Can Caleb Beasley come along and give you that? I'm not ready to fire Tim Banks. I'm definitely questioning Tim Banks. I question him week in and week out when we get on here and talk about it. Can Tennessee outscore Oklahoma next week? That's the question looking ahead. It's going to be a night game, probably going to be dark mode. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. We would greatly appreciate it. Go check out the merchandise. Go check out the Patreon. If you're not a member of this channel, hit that join button. Only $1 a month. We would appreciate the support. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.